Welcome to another live episode of Halftime Adjustments. His host, Eddie Arnell, my man G Whit. What's going on, G Whit?
Tighten up, baby. Tighten up. Tighten up.
Tighten up, man. J. Lou will be joining us in a minute. And we also got a surprise guest coming on tonight. We'll bring him
Oh,
on in
Lord.
just a second. But, man, here we go, man. Week 1, 2024. G Whit, man. Tennessee Titans go on the road against a rookie quarterback. We talked at length about the different things in the last show about what we thought we needed to get this road victory. We wanted to see if this defense was going to pressure, because the Titans have a history of not pressuring rookie quarterbacks. G Whit, and so final score: Bears 24, Titans 17. Tell the two halves, G Whit, man. Tell the two halves. So your first. So let's start this way, man, because we saw new regime, right? New coaching, new style of play, something we hadn't seen before here. But so give me your first impressions, man, of what you saw as far as this coaching staff today. What are your thoughts?
Okay, man, that's a good way to start because in all honesty, I will say this. As far as the majority of the play calling, I had no problem with from Brian Callahan, how he ran the offense. And I definitely had no problem with Denard Wilson, the way he called the defense. I thought he called a great game, evidenced by the stats. But the biggest, if I had a disappointment on coaching, it was special teams, man. I just did not expect to see the things that I saw on special teams today. That was the most disappointing part about the coaching staff as far as I was concerned. And really, it's not. I'll put it like this: block punts happen, and a lot of times is the way they're blocked up and everything, the way they're protected. But the problem I had was the long returns on kickoffs and everything, and even on some punts. I just had a problem with that, and the fact that the coverage, which we expected to be much better than what it was under Ackerman and everything, it looked, for lack of a better term, it looked worse. Again, the block punt. I went back and looked at the broadcast again just to see, and you saw what happened. Basically, is that they just basically bum rushed the middle of the line, and I'm still trying to figure out why Jack Gibbons was in the middle of the line blocking instead of an old lineman or something like that, or a reserve old lineman at least. But in all honesty, that was my take on the coaching, man. Again, special teams coaches just disappointed me altogether, but I really had no problem with Callahan. The only problem I will say with as far as his offensive play calling was concerned, I don't think he adjusted well enough in the second half to what the Bears defense was doing. I would say this: when you go back and look at it, you have to wonder why. Seeing that the pass rush was coming the way it was, why he didn't roll Will Smith out more. Granted, it give him a more narrow field, but at least gives him an opportunity to avoid being sacked for making panic plays and things of that nature. Again, defensively, there's no problem I got with the way the defense was called. The Bears made some plays. They're an NFL team. That's going to happen. Right. But I mean, let's be truthful about it. The defense only gave up 11 points, 3 field goals, and a 2-point conversion. And really, the field goals, one of the field goals, at least the one at the end of the first half, that was mainly due to the fact that special teams, the coverage. Right. So, but other than that, that's my take on the coaching side of it, man.
Yeah, I think Cali did a good job in the first half, like you said, man, mixing it up. I thought the play caller was refreshing, and they had they blocked pretty good on the run game. Had 140 yards rushing for the game, so the run game did do its thing for the day. I think, like you said, the adjustment was in the second half when the Bears started bringing more people to the line of scrimmage, bringing more pressure looks. They had Will holding the ball a little bit too long, and kind of gave him some looks that he was acting like he wasn't prepared for. They played well on defense. You got to and
Yeah. I lost you. I lost your volume, brother. Can't hear you. There's no sound. Can you hear me? Okay, I can't hear you at all.
you got me.
Oh, there you go.
All right. So yeah. And so like you said, the adjustments in the second half, and they'll learn. It's the first game, but man, some of the things, man, still look eerily the same. 36 games, man, straight of not scoring 30 points, and we gotta fix that, man. We gotta fix that. Appreciate y'all joining us tonight. Eddie Gray, man. I'm sorry we was late, man. Had some technical difficulties. Will says his level's the answer. All right, so we got a sample size, right? We'll see what
Yeah.
what old Nathan. Man, thank you for being here tonight. Darius Williams, and Jay Lou is coming in just a minute. And so, man, let's go. Let's look at the defensive side of the ball because it was good, right? It was good. There was some opportunities there to make some. So the biggest thing to me, man, and they talked about this at length in the past. You got to create turnovers. We got to get a turnover, man, to help the offense.
Yeah.
But anytime you hold a team to, like you said, basically 11 points on the offense minus the turnovers that we got and the score, and 150 yards or less, man.
Hey, now we had turnover opportunities, we just couldn't convert them. Had a couple of opportunities that we just couldn't get to. But overall, man, really, if anybody finds anything wrong with the defense, they're just negative about everything because the defense plays solid. I will say this. Going back to your earlier point, we were wondering about the defense, how aggressive it was going to be. It was great to see aggressiveness in the coverage. You didn't see DBs playing 10, 12 yards off the line of scrimmage. I thought it was, I got to see, my dream actually came true, to see T Sweat and Jeffrey Simmons in there wrecking havoc. I mean, they were wearing the middle of the Bears
man. Causing all kind of havoc.
Man, they were causing all kinds of problem. It was good to see Harold Landry, Arden Key, I thought played well. I will say this. There was some time in the second half where you saw he subbed in the middle of the line, and you didn't see that push up the middle like we normally would, but they still had good pressure, though. They still had good pressure. They were bringing the blitz, which was something good. They were bringing it from the outside. They were bringing it from the inside. Linebacker blitzes, corner blitzes, safety blitzes. So all of that was just great to see. Again, even though the Bears had a few moments where they drove down the field a little bit, overall, man, that defense played tight, tackled pretty well. Not a whole lot of missed tackles. Overall, they did their job. Again, Callahan said after the game, he said, basically you had a championship defense play and special teams in the offense just let them down. If you think about it, he brought up a good point about the turnovers and everything. If the turnovers don't happen, the way their defense was playing, they win the game.
Easy. They don't even get at the most they get a couple field goals, maybe.
Yeah, at the most.
Yeah. And so, and I hate to, because as I was looking at the commentators after the game, and I hate to, it was more about Caleb Williams winning his first game.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything, right? They held him in check. They made him look like a rookie, which he is. And they made him think. What I liked about the defensive side of the ball, G Witt, was, in the first half, you really didn't see too many blitzes, but you saw pressure with the front. But then the second half, man, he had him confused. We were saying, watching the game, it was either delay a game, he called timeout because they had him confused.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, it was crazy to see that, man. I hate it. But we talked about it at length on this show that it's gonna take the offense a minute. It is, and that's just how football is, because there's more to the offense to work out all the kinks. And remember, they didn't play in totality the whole preseason. They played a lot with the ones line, but the receivers and everybody. So, and the fact that here goes J. Lou, the fact that Will is missing Calvin Ridley, man, on the deep ball twice.
That was happening in the preseason too. I don't know what it is. It happened in practice. He cannot get on the same page with Calvin Ridley on those deep balls, man. Calvin Ridley is open. He just can't make the connection, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know why he can't do it. It's unusual for a quarterback, to be totally honest with you, that cannot make a connection on the deep ball with a receiver that can get that wide open. He's either throwing it short or he's throwing it too long.
Welcome, J. Lou, man. So I'm gonna get your thoughts, man. I'm gonna bring on our guests right after this. So, J. Lou, your first impressions, man, and so we kind of hit the coaching staff, play calling, all of that, man. What's your first impressions of seeing the 2024 Titans full action first game?
It was. Well, I wouldn't be lying if I said it was semi what I probably expected. Now I didn't expect Will Levis to look like a rookie, but this is his 10th game. But I think what you saw, I think it all boils down to you saw a rookie head coach with no play calling experience in the NFL get out coached in the second half. That's point blank. He didn't make any adjustments. To the Bears' credit, they came out and I believe I've seen the stat. It was like 47% pressure in the second half. And I mean that we didn't adjust to that. We went away from we've talked all about the short game, the short runs. I think we got into the habit too. No rhythm. You went in a rhythm with play calling, and you couldn't get into it. You couldn't get any of your players into a rhythm. I think I have personally never been a fan of swapping running backs back and forth. And I think you should have rolled this. This to me was a game that you should have just fed Pollard more and sprinkled in Spears when you could. But I thought you were trying to get them. Their touches was almost equal when you look at the touches at the end of the game. But overall, I thought the offense, I mean, we expected the offense to be behind. I thought the offensive line held up until Dylan got hurt.
Yes.
And then the Bears showed the second half the blueprint that you do to attack this young offensive line until they get their feet wet. You bring pressure, and all the pressure up there was just confusing them all. The defense, hearing some of them after. If they continue to play like this, it's going to be hard to keep. You're going to really lean on your leaders to keep that locker room together. Because the first time in NFL history, G-Wit, a team held a team under 150 total yards, and they lose the game. Three field goals. So overall, though, I mean, you got to get that one out of the way. You wash it away. It is week 1, so don't jump off the bridge and panic yet. But it's got to take some time. We said it in the offseason, if they can get to 2-2, maybe even 1-3 by the time the bye comes around. I hate the week 5 bye, but we might need it for us to really see this team start to gel.
Hey, by the way, has anybody heard Dylan what his injury is?
They say ribs. He came back in a few times back and forth, and then I think they just finally shut him down. So I would assume it's nothing serious, but they said ribs doing a thing.
It looked worse on TV because I thought it was ankle at first.
I thought it was ankle. Yeah, I thought it was ankle.
I thought it was ankle or knee.
Yeah. And my last observation. Special teams. I don't know if we got the right players to play special teams. We all talk about Mr. Reliability in NWI. He's not a gunner. He's definitely not a gunner. And I'll be honest, Stonehouse has PTSD. That's why he keeps out kicking his coverage. It took one block, and if after that block, look how fast he started kicking the ball where you're out. He's out kicking the coverage. So they definitely got to shore that up.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say one of the things I noticed in the second half, like I said, when I went back and looked at a little bit of it, what the Bears were also doing, they were definitely in the middle of the line, in the heart of the line. They were wearing the center out. And again, it goes back to what you said, J. Lou. I think we said it earlier as well. That's where you saw a rookie play caller not make adjustments to what the Bears was doing and not getting his quarterback out of harm's way. Like I said earlier, he didn't call any rollouts for him or anything like that. He just left him in the middle. And that's the problem. He's going to go back and look at that and see that he could have made those changes and adjust, because I guarantee you the Jets are going to look at what happened in the second half, and that's what they're coming with.
Well, so one thing I noticed, and I'm sure you guys did as everybody else, so an adjustment they made in the second half. So how do you beat a young offensive line? And I thought you was going to say it, J. Lou, but you cover every lineman with a body.
Yeah,
and so you make them block one-on-one and you bring extra. And so you saw the Bears doing a lot of heavy fronts, a lot of odd and under fronts. And I mean, it just gave him problems. It gave him problems. And, Levis is he gonna learn how to get down, man, because he ain't gonna make the season if he keeps trying to
keep doing that kind of stuff. He don't know how to slide.
Right. And so at this time, we got a special guest tonight, man, the number one Bears fan in the world.
Oh, Lord.
J Mo, man. Come on the show, J Mo. Well, welcome, man, to the show. Congratulations on the victory today, man. How's it feel to be 1-0 today? You muted.
You muted, James.
You're so excited you forgot to turn your sound on.
Yeah.
There you go.
Great.
We got you.
Feeling great. I'm praying for y'all. T's and P's.
So what was your impression, man, of the Bears? How did they look to you, man? Caleb Williams, first of all, good number one pick. He's supposed to be the next great thing, right?
Man, he looked like a rookie. He looked exactly how he was supposed to look. Right here, I got welcome to the NFL. One of my takeaways. Welcome to the NFL, man. 14 to 29, 93 yards. I shared with you and Jabbar my takeaways. I thought they should have done a lot more short passes, screens, outs, because he was moving the ball when we did that. I think they need to put the training wheels on him. I think they tried to let him go out there and do his thing, man. But we didn't have no bars in the deep pass, no service out there. You know what I'm saying? We had Boost mobile connection. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but you got to give our secondary credit, man. Snead and Cheeto, man, and McCreary. They locked it up pretty good. And Nathan Moe said that. Appreciate that, man. That point. I mean, they really think about that. Snead and Cheeto both didn't even practice to it, and we were concerned about their conditioning. They actually played pretty well. Snead I'm glad they let him play. Right, because he's really handsy. He's really a physical corner, and they let him play. They let him play.
I would say this: what Caleb Williams found out today, and he had fun during the preseason, which all rookie quarterbacks do. He found out, you can't play like you did at USC and hope to accomplish anything, because you find out these D linemen and these linebackers are a lot faster, and they're just not going to let you run around and do it. He got away a few times, but for the most part. Yeah, he struggled with that, but like I said, your special teams and your defense really turned the day for you.
Yeah, and so J Mo, man, going forward, what's the concern, man? Because the offense looked like shambles. You're right.
Actually, I'm not concerned, man.
You're not concerned.
Another one of my takeaways: no matter what level, pee-wee, middle school, high school, college, week 1 is week 1.
Week 1,
right. Especially now, when they're not playing no preseason games or very minimal, this is their preseason game for all these teams, man. So honestly, man, I'm inspired. Y'all D is real. That's another one of my takeaways, but I'm not concerned at all. For us to be able to do this, obviously we got lucky with a block punt. That's a unicorn in the NFL, getting that kick six and then to get a pick six. So basically our defense carried us, man. We got lucky. But now, honestly, I'm not worried at all. We got a big matchup next week, so we got to go back. We got to go to the short routes. Like I said, put the training wheels on them, and we'll be fine.
I got one concern. I got one concern for y'all, J-Mo. This is just a concern that I had when the season was starting. I think y'all coaching can be a detriment to you, because to your point, I think the play calling today put y'all in some bad situations. Y'all were killing. Swift was killing the Titans on outside runs. And outside zones, and they did not go back to it until the fourth quarter to try to salt it away in the end. But they went away from that. I think, and to your point with a rookie quarterback, I 100% agree. Kind of put the training wheels on him just a little bit, but a good running game will help with that. And y'all have a dynamic back in Swift. And I thought that, again, the Titans defense is legit, especially that front. but I thought you were gashing us. Y'all started off the game running pretty well, and I think your coaching went away from that. So when I say concern, that's the one concern I have is that I think the coaches will get. You don't want them as a Bears fan to have that. We got Caleb Williams, let's let him go. Let's reel it in and slowly bring him along. Because he did some things in the pocket today that like, okay, he can be a superstar in this league.
He could be special. I would tell you this, we love the aggressive defense that we have, but the one downfall to an aggressive defense is that you can run that eye candy stuff, get outside because they pursue so hard to the ball that you start going outside. That's what it was hurting us, that outside zone run, man.
He got he got loose a little bit, and like you said, Swift was running the ball well. I was surprised when they did go away from that.
Yeah, he only had 5 carries for a total of 30 yards, and it was running back by committee.
Yeah,
so I think we had a total of 22 carries and 84 yards as a group. I will say defense, I do have a concern. We are vulnerable in our pass coverage with our linebackers. Running the ball, ain't nobody getting onto that, man. But man, you getting that soft middle. That y'all was causing problems with that. Y'all went away from that, so that we appreciate that.
So here's a couple things about that. So the run game that it was working, 140 yards. What they started doing is start getting to the edge. Again, another aggressive defense that's coming straight at you, attacks down here. You got to get to the edge. And when you saw them dealing from the backside, they were mashing. They were mashing. So that was beautiful to see. And like you said, Terrell Edmunds, he's always had a problem with coverage. He's always had a problem with coverage. And so, it's a concern for you guys. But man, what a great start though, to win the second half and score 24 points. Your defense pitch a shutout and doing so, create turnovers. 3 turnovers, 1 block punt, a fumble, and interception. So, and if you want to count the fourth down miss, then that's another turnover. So, but man, let's look at some of the stats real quick, man, because it's the telling is, like you said, Swift, he had 10 carries for 30 yards. If I'm giving up 3 yards a pop, I'm good. Right? Yeah. 2 for 13 on third down efficiency for the Bears, 3 for 14 for the Titans. 53 plays for the Bears. Again, we talked about this. How will the Titans be able to control the game if they don't have a solid run game? Again, they won the time of possession, 34 minutes and 25. And so, man, it comes down to turnovers. We had some costly penalties too. Harold Landry jumps off sides, and man, this things just went downhill fast in that second half. It's like that block punt started the avalanche of miscues. And if you go back and look at that interception by Will Levis, man, all he had to do was step up in the pocket. He drifted to the left for whatever reason. Yeah. He spent a lot of time on his footwork in the offseason. We've heard about that. And we didn't see the fruits of the labor today. And so
if you notice a couple times, when he takes the snap on his drop back, he's drifting to the left every single time.
Yeah, every time. I don't know why.
I don't either, because to your point, that when he's talking about that, PFF probably PPF or whatever probably blame the Trench King for giving up a sack. It really wasn't his fault. If he just steps up where he should be in the pocket, the pressure's not there and the guy's on bound. But that's something else they're going to have to work with him on, because they pointed that out on the broadcast several times where he's stepping into pressure.
Yeah.
Nathan, I feel good about the offensive line. I thought they played well. Levis had enough time to where he could step up in the pocket. He was able to look at his different options. Again, for whatever reason, he was drifting. But like you said, when Dillon went out,
I thought they played well. I thought they struggled to adjust to the pressure with their pressure. But I would say the technique and all that you can see a night and day difference from coaching. So you have to be again. The rookie got beat one time. That's going to happen. But he had good plays too. I thought NPF is probably our weakest offensive lineman to me. I thought he did okay as well. I mean, for the most part, they kept sweating him in check until that second half when you started seeing them bring cover zero and they were bringing everything that I love.
Bringing everything.
But I thought it was a good game for them to build on. I think, and the problem is they're going to have to work with Will Levis on ghost, because he's got ghost pressure. He's feeling ghost pressures, and I think that's what he's forcing sometimes.
Yeah, I say the same thing. I thought the O-line did okay in the first half. I know in the second half they struggle again. Like I said, that's a credit to the Bears D-line defense, because what they did, they just came with the pressure up the middle. They definitely wore this I'm going to say Skoronski and Quisenberry. They wore them both out. Really, just coming up because what they started doing, like you said, Eddie, they went man to man. So everybody had to block a man, and then they would bring an extra one, so you couldn't recover from that. So again, I think they played well, but I also think they struggled in the second half. But I also think part of that again goes back to play calling, Callahan not recognizing what the Bears were doing and adjusting to that. He stayed with the same game plan, and he struggled. He even said it after in the press conference after the game. He couldn't get into a rhythm with the play calling. A lot of that, he said a lot of it was the fact that, one, they played good. We weren't making any progress. We were always in like second and long and third and long. So I just think he had a hard time adjusting. Again, first time play calling, I think it just got the best of him in the second half, and he just got out. He just got out coached. Bottom line, he just got out coached by a better defensive coordinator.
He got out coached, man, and we've kind of already talked about the special teams. They're gonna have to look at putting some more speed on the special teams. Something's going to be done there, like you said. The kickoff coverage, even the new kickoff rule, the kickoff coverage. I mean, it was. I mean, they had great field position, and again, and then think about that for a minute, guys.
Yes.
How they had a great field position, and the defense still held them to a field goal in those cases, right?
Yeah.
And so, man, it's gonna be a long season. This is week 1. Nobody jump off the ship yet. Don't go cry in the car. Just hang on. It's gonna be all right. If that defense keeps playing like that, man, we're gonna have to, they'll get it back. They'll get it back. I have hope. I'm not done yet. And so, looking at the AFC South today, man, what the standings? So the Texans beat the Colts. The Texans sitting on top, man. They 29-27. It was a good game. 2-point game. Yeah. Anthony Richardson throws a dot from 70 yards almost. Yes. Right? So man, the Jaguars go down to the Dolphins at last second field goal, 20-17, and of course we lose to the Bears. Who the Bears got, man, next week?
We got the Texans next week. Big game. Sunday night football, prime time.
It's in Houston, ain't it?
It's in Houston.
That's a big game.
Real quick, shout out to my boy Mike Bedown, baby.
Yeah. I'm finna say you done invited some of your people on this. It's all good, man. Number love, man. It's all good.
But yeah, we're in Texas next week. It's gonna be a big game. So hopefully, again, they make those adjustments and keep Caleb in the short game to set up our deep stuff and give the ball to Swift some more, man. So.
I'll tell you one thing that I called out last week at our preview show that showed his face today from a Bears side. That guard triangle, that guard center triangle. I think I told you that too, James.
Yeah.
That's where y'all weakness is on that offensive line, man.
Yeah, man.
Big Sweat and Big Jeff. Big Sweat. For those that did not want the question T'Andre Sweat when the Titans drafted him.
Hey.
He is a beast, man.
He's a beast.
He was a beast, but I think y'all definitely got to sure that up because that guard and center and putting a lot of pressure in Caleb's face because he's one. I like him because he wants to stand in the pocket as opposed to throwing.
Mm-hmm.
But that could be his downfall when you got that pressure coming up in his face. And next week I got a good challenge with Houston.
Yeah, it was pretty bad on the sack on Harold Landry. They triple team Big Jeff.
I mean, he drew 3. The center was like, oops.
3 players. I'm like, good Lord.
Right. And so, yeah, right. I forget to mention that. Appreciate that, Nathan. Ernest Jones, man. You don't see a linebacker bull rushing the center too often.
Man.
I mean,
we might have a change next week.
Man, look, yeah, no doubt. I mean, Gibbet played good for what I saw, but see, here's the thing, though. He wasn't really involved. Much.
Yeah, I was going to say. He played well because it was covered up. Because that was a couple times to James' point, had Caleb been able to set his feet or whatnot, he had some tight ends and some people wide open that was in Gibby's spot.
So one thing I think and of course, I'm not an NFL coach, never call. But we can't put Diggs on the receiver on the slot no more.
No.
Because if that was a better throw, Keenan Allen scores on that. That's a touchdown.
Easily.
Absolutely.
But yes.
Did they ever say anything about
on what's your other boy, the other receiver?
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore, they had Hooker on him in one play. I'm like, you can't put Hooker on him?
Yeah.
James,
Yeah.
from y'all standpoint, did they ever say anything about Keenan Allen? I saw him limping near the end, and I don't know if he came back in or not. I know he came in with a heel issue.
He did come back in. I
Okay.
haven't heard any injury updates. I was looking before I hopped on here just to
Gotcha.
make sure I was up to date on everything. But I haven't said anything further than because he did come back in.
Gotcha.
Titans, man, first home game against the Jets, guys. And somebody already mentioned it. Aaron Rodgers is Will Dotson, man. Appreciate that comment. He's not gonna miss wide open receivers.
No,
I mean, he's not. And so we're gonna have to be even. The defense it's gonna have to be even better than what they were today. I mean, that's bottom line. So because you got Garrett Wilson, you got Mike Williams, Alan Lazard, Tyler Conklin, man. You got guys that can get up with Xavier Gibson from last year. You got Breece Hall at running back. I mean, the guy can do it all. He's a 3-down back. But the Jets offensive line is questionable. And so I think that's where we can get him at. And of course, the defense is going to be. We're gonna have another issue.
Yeah, man.
Another battle.
Battle.
It's a rough month, man. It's a rough month. We're going to get some stellar defenses, man.
It is, man. It is. It's going to be a tough game, AFC game, AFC conference game. So you know how they come to the end. They for tiebreakers for everybody else, man. And so, and you're right, Joe. The Jets have a West Coast game, and they got to come across. It's going to be a short week for them. That's we'll see how that works out, but that's usually not favorable for those teams, man. It's week one, though, fellas. Week one. You can shake your head, shake this one off, and try to come back and get the next one. I'm just curious to see, the adjustments that Callahan's going to make. Like you said, Ricky head coach, first time in the hot seat as far as calling plays and being the lead guy. And, some things to do.
What adjustments Levis is going to make, or what they're going to try to do with him, because there's a lot that he struggled with in this game, even in the first half, that he's going to have to work on to try to get together and everything. But one of the biggest ones, he's got to learn how to get down. I don't know if they can ever get that in his head unless they take a baseball bat upside his head. He's got to get down.
He's got to throw the ball a little quicker. I think on the first Ridley deep ball, if he throws it earlier, it's a touchdown. So let's talk. We didn't mention him enough. Calvin Ridley is legit, man. He's a legit deep threat. He didn't have no problem running past the secondary today.
No.
I mean, it was this man. And he actually, I was sitting here watching the replay of the game, the highlights from the game. He actually got hit on that first throw to Ridley. And so, but he's got to get rid of it. He's got to step up and throw it. He's got to step up and throw it. Will said second half.
He's got to throw it earlier. He held on to the ball too long. Like I said, for whatever the reason may be, they supposedly worked on it all off season and training camp. They still cannot get that timing right on their plays or whatever. And I'm not sure what the problem is or why they can't do that. I mean, it was like that even in the practice that I went to. He could not hit him on the deep ball.
What do y'all think about the way they use Treylon Burks today?
It goes back to what I said earlier. Quit trying to get everybody the ball. I was tired of seeing. I have no knock on Burks. I want him to be successful, but he's not a reverse man. I was tired of seeing the orbit motion with Ridley, and you never handed it to him once. Stop doing the eye candy and hand it to him at least one time, because he's a lot faster. But I just thought they were just trying to get everybody involved.
So I don't know if y'all caught this or not, but on the quarterback power, it was an RPO. Did you notice that? They ran that orbit motion, and Ridley was out there. He had an option to throw the ball, but he just kept him ready. And so,
in all honesty, and I agree with you. I think the play calling as far as the reverses and everything, especially with Burks, I think that, to me, it was just played out. I mean, you're not getting the blocking on the edge or anything to make it a viable play. And and I don't know if Burks is really that type of guy that can actually come through and, run a reverse like that. But, my whole thing is this. I think if you're going to use him, let's put him out in the pass pattern. Let's see if he can use his big body. If he's learned how to use that body to body up some DBs and everything. And again, the short passing game, you'll take a 6 or 7 yard pass.
Yeah. And they threw it to him on a hitch, and he dropped it. So he got to do better. Man, shout out to Tony P, man. Join us tonight, man.
Yeah.
Our brother right there, man. Shout out, man. Appreciate you joining us tonight, man.
So, I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
What happened to D-Hop and Tyler? Boy,
D-Hop was still dealing with the MCL.
So
he was on the pitch count.
One catch.
Yeah, he's on the pitch count.
What about Boyd? He was non-existent too.
Well, he didn't. So that's another thing. I think he was looking at Calvin a little bit too much after he missed those deep throws.
He was.
And so he missed Boyd open a bunch across the middle.
Yeah.
And on the outside. And so that's something, again, he's got to go back. They got to watch film. They got to correct those things, man. He can't be fixated on trying to hit that deep ball. Jaylee, you talked about it, man, in the preseason, that he can't. And G. Witt said it today. You can't play hero ball all the time. You got to take what the defense.
He got to be check down Charlie. Nothing will be wrong with doing that. And that was the issue. I mean, I think that the D-Hop was one that was forced. Literally, it was a play too late, because I think the first play you had him where we probably could have got some bigger yardage than you got, and he came back to him the next play and it was a little too late. But he's going to have to learn how to spread the ball to these weapons he's got, and I think the play calling has got to be better. Because I'm with you, James. Tyler Boyd, I thought, could have been a bigger impact in this game.
Yes,
he should have been, and it was just he was not there. Even the tight ends, outside of the pretty pass that he threw to Chig, Wiley was just not like we didn't see enough short passing, enough routes that what we saw in preseason in the vanilla offense. Some of these route concepts getting receivers open. And again, credit to the Bears defense, because they did bring the pressure, but you just got to learn how to adjust. And the second half, it was non-existent.
Especially when you got linebackers that have issues with coverage. You know what I'm saying? You've got to exploit that. And I know that the Bears are a heavy cover 2 team, but you can do things to kind of exploit that defense. So yeah, man, check downs early is what helped. You right. Nathan says they called a bootleg play action 3 times to Vanette. You right. And he called it every time. And he was open for it.
When you called into the slowest tight end you got on your team.
I know, man. I know it.
It was just overall, like you said at the very beginning, you got a rookie play caller. He didn't adjust, and granted you had a rookie play caller on the backside too, on the defensive side, but still, he didn't adjust to what the Bears were doing, especially in the second half. I mean, most NFL teams will give you 1 drive and a half. We had none. None. I mean, the Bears defense just completely shut them down. That's the bottom line.
And we appreciate the hero ball. And,
I know you do. I know you do.
Very grateful.
I know you do.
Man.
I know you do. Because without that, I don't know if you guys win the game, to be totally honest with you.
You're right.
It was right. I mean, just watching it on TV, you see how quiet Soldier Field was until the block punt.
Oh,
and then
man.
after that place was rowdy. I was like, it's a downfall from there. So
Right. Yeah. And again, I say it's just so much easier to adjust on defense because you just react and play. And so Denard, he's gonna have it a little bit easier than Cali. And so, like I said, man, don't jump ship yet. Just stay together because it's week 1.
Challenge coming up next week.
Yeah, it's week 1. This is another huge challenge. Yeah, the defense is gonna be challenged too. It's another good group of receivers, but you got a Hall of Fame quarterback. There's the difference, and outstanding defense to back it up. And so, I'm telling you, he can't do that hero ball next week. He might not make the whole game. Will Levis, that is.
He won't make the whole game. Right. I mean, but the thing you like about Caleb Williams, the one thing you have to like about him is that he never turned the ball over. He pretty much played safe the whole game.
He did.
He had a couple of issues where the ball bounced up in the air, but really I don't consider those his fault. Just good defensive positioning and everything. But he never really put the ball in harm's way. That's the one good thing you do like about how he played. Because even in the second half, with the way their defense was playing, Caleb Williams, even though they couldn't move the ball, he never turned the ball over. Like, okay, we're punting the ball and let our defense do their thing. So
he gonna learn too. And y'all said it earlier that them big boys can run the NFL too. You can't run backwards. Big Colburn. That fella Sebastian Day. Man, Big Sweat. Big Sweat
was running.
He gonna learn.
I'm telling you, that 366-pound man can move.
And then Big Jeff, man, he must have treated Swift like he was a little rag doll on him in the backfield. I was like, God, he knocked him back about 3 yards. So, but Joe. Like I said, man, half the NFL's over. Somebody had to lose a day. Unfortunately, it was us.
Very
you know, it's unfortunate. Yeah, fortunately.
I mean,
I'll give it to you, man.
when's the last time we won an opening weekend game?
5 years ago.
Okay, I'm gonna say I don't think we've done it since 2018
Yeah.
or 19, somewhere in there. So
Yeah. Tell the P, man, you right, man. He said Caleb managed the game real for a rookie. He did, man. You
Yeah,
gotta
he
give him
did.
credit.
He did.
You gotta
He didn't
credit.
make any
Didn't turn the
turnovers or
ball
anything.
over. That's what
You
you
know?
asked. Now, what you got to be happy for, I don't know if there's a silver lining, is that you got a defense that can keep you in the game
Yeah.
and give you a chance to win.
yeah.
That's both teams, really.
Yeah.
The Bears got a pretty good defense too that'll keep them in the game as well. You just can't. You gotta put some points up on the board, man. Hopefully we'll break that streak soon. 36 straight games, man, for the Titans not scoring 30 points. That's a long time. That's a long time. But man, thank y'all again, man. All y'all that showed up tonight. Sorry we was late again. All the comments, all the questions. Yeah, Eddie Gray, man. Championship level defense. You are exactly right. And Cheeto, Awuzie, and Snead as advertised. As advertised. That's amazing, though. Snead said he was ready. He said they were ready, and they showed up. They did. They showed up.
McCreary played a good game too.
Who?
McCreary.
Oh yeah,
Roger
yeah.
McCreary.
McCreary's out. He's always tackling. You know everything. Even on that busted play that they threw to Keenan Allen when he went through the back of the end zone, he caught up and made some good coverage right there.
Yeah.
And so hats off to the defense, man. Hats off to the defense. They got to come out and realize that you got to be able to score in the NFL. If you're going to win games, you got to be able to score.
Yeah.
You got to be able to score. But thank y'all again, man, for joining us tonight for another episode of Halftime Adjustments. Eddie Arnell, G with J. Lou, and a special guest tonight.
Sir.
J-Mo, man, with the Bears. Yeah, Bradley had a good game too. Nathan, man, appreciate that. He tackled well. He did. G Wit, man. He tackled well today.
He tackled well. I was impressed.
He tackled well today. So yeah, man. But again, J. Lou, man, I want you to go down now, and I want you to get on the special teams coach, man. Okay, do it tomorrow.
And now I'm gonna tell you what it is, man. Craig Arkerman is hiding somewhere in that building. That's what it is. The ghost of Craig is still in that building throughout that special team staff.
Right. Big dog, appreciate you, man. He said the defense will get better, man. You're exactly right, man. Again, but thank y'all for joining us tonight. Catch you next week, man. Home game first. Home game for the Tennessee Titans 2024. New York Jets coming to town. Aaron Rodgers and company. Another tough match, man. It's going to be a tough first 4 weeks, first quarter of the season, man. Hopefully, like you said, we can come out 2-2, 1-3. But if this offense keep going the way it is,
it's gonna be rough.
It's gonna be really ugly, man. Appreciate you joining us tonight, J-Mo, man. Go ahead.
No problem. I got one more stat for y'all.
Oh man,
it's serious.
Okay,
it's a
go
cliche
ahead,
though. The cliche.
Go ahead.
Y'all beat us in every stat except the turnover battle.
Turnover battle. That's right.
Won that, and that's what coaches say. Hey, if you're gonna win,
got to win.
That's the one stat to win.
Turnovers always get you beat.
Yeah.
Always get you beat, man.
So,
I'm telling you.
Yeah,
and
you can survive one, you can survive two, but when you start getting 3 and 4, you know what?
What hurts though is when they turn into points.
That's what I was going to say. When you score off of them, 14 points off turnover.
Oh my gosh!
The block punt. If and this is what I say, coaching. I know we finna end it. The block punt, the punt before the one they blocked, they showed they were coming and just backed off at the last second on that one. They could have blocked that one. So
Yeah, man. Thank y'all for joining us tonight. Check us out next week. We'll be back on, man. We'll probably be back on normal time, but look out for that information. We'll post that. But again, thank y'all for joining us. Thank you for the comments, the questions. Thank you for James joining us tonight, man, for the Bears. Congratulations, man.
Get down.
Halftime adjustment, man. We out of here.